Drivers, do you remember, I don't know, back when DoorDash started, they flew us all out to California. We all sat in this big meeting room and we decided that $2.50 is what we were going to accept to do a delivery. Yeah, me neither. So, yeah. You see, drivers don't make executive decisions. We are at the mercy of a boardroom somewhere across the country by people that don't really do deliveries or are forced to do one delivery a month as an executive, and they whine about that. So I thought I would focus on customers first. So customers, you're under this impression that we have control over a lot of your fees, a lot of things that are going on in the app, when in fact, we don't. We basically see the same kind of distorted information that you're getting on your end. What I mean by distorted information is there isn't transparency between drivers and customers. And DoorDash likes it that way. So customers, if you have ordered DoorDash, you have seen your little fee page. And there are just some general fees that you're forced to pay that are, well, outrageous. You don't get a breakdown, you just get kind of a lump sum of what it's going to cost you. So your $7 burrito is now $23 with a tip. And just so you know, us DoorDash drivers, we know it's outrageous. We agree with you, totally, 100%. It's crazy. So let's take the scenario of your $23 burrito. So that's $23 without the tip, okay? So you have a bunch of fees and you just know you're paying $23. And then at the end of things, you're being asked to tip your driver on top of everything else. And as a driver, I get it. Why should you have to tip? And the answer is simple. You don't have to. But the part of the scenario that you're not getting is that a driver only gets paid $2.50 per delivery. And that $2.50 is a mile, is 10 miles. So if you live 10 miles away, $2.50 is what I'm being asked to do. In fact, I'm going to give you some more examples of what us drivers have to do to be a DoorDash driver. You see, did you know that DoorDash drivers, we don't use DoorDash vehicles. We don't use DoorDash's gas. We don't get our maintenance done by a DoorDash technician. We have to pay all of that stuff out of our pocket because we're independent contractors. So what's different between being an independent contractor and when you go to Starbucks to get your coffee? You see, when you go to Starbucks and you order your coffee from barista, they're getting paid by the hour. So they may be getting paid $16, $17 an hour, regular pay. Now, your coffee, your cup, everything else there is provided by the company. So that employee is getting paid $15 to $17 an hour to just kind of be there and serve you. And a tip, that's just something extra for them. We don't get paid by the hour. We get paid by the job. Though we do get paid by the hour sometimes, and I'll explain that towards the end when I get to the driver's side. But we generally don't get paid by the hour. See, we're not using any of DoorDash's stuff. We have to pay for everything ourselves. And I feel like that falls on deaf ears sometimes, but okay, so customers, let's talk about the driver side of things. So when your order comes in, I get some basic information. I get the where it's picking up, how many miles, and your tip or your tip that might be greater. Yeah, there's the fine print on our end too. You see, DoorDash isn't very transparent with its drivers either. So as a driver, I have to make decisions based on the information given to me by DoorDash. And let me explain kind of an example. John orders Taco Bell and he lives 10 miles away. And in my DoorDash app, it says the tip is $6, but may be more. So as a DoorDash driver, $6 for 10 miles, I would not do that because it's upside down. I would make no money on it. And no offense, but I'm in this business to make money. Now, let's say John actually tipped $13, but it wasn't displayed on the screen. And I don't know that. So the may is what DoorDash drivers have to deal with. It might be more, it might not be more. The maybe is the new buzzword I use as a DoorDash driver. So using the example of Taco Bell, if he actually tipped $13, I might take that order because that one order, if I'm going to Taco Bell, might actually turn into a double because it's fast food and you're more likely to get a double on a fast food joint. Now, because I didn't take that order, now John's waiting for somebody to maybe think that there might be a better tip. So in that case, DoorDash is hurting the customer and it's hurting the driver. So when you're tipping, just understand on the driver's side, we have as vague of information as you do. So let's talk hourly. So I alluded earlier to the hourly wage. So DoorDash drivers do have the option to do an hourly wage. But again, DoorDash has fine print. Hourly is what's called active time, buzzword for DoorDash. Active time is when you accept an order, go to a restaurant, pick up an order, and when you drop off the order. That's what you're paying that hourly rate for, just that amount of time. Now, you might think, wow, DoorDash drivers are getting paid $15 an hour plus tips, they must be making a killing. The answer is no. You see, active time is actually terrible. It's terrible for the driver because you have to do way more deliveries in an hour to actually make $15 an hour. And as a customer, you need to know that because it says hourly wage, we're not actually getting paid an hourly wage. Again, with the disclaimers from DoorDash and how they choose to pay its drivers. DoorDash is not very transparent. Uber Eats is not very transparent. I don't know any gig apps that are very transparent. It's always going to be the same. It's going to be the driver versus the customer. And see, DoorDash likes that because you know who's out of this drivers versus the customer? DoorDash. DoorDash just kind of has to sit on the top and just kind of mediate between the two. Now, there was one senator in Colorado that actually drew up a bill. But you know what? Uber and DoorDash lobbied this senator so hard she actually dropped it. So they basically threw as much money at this as they could to make it go away. These predatory tactics will continue until somebody finally steps in and regulates the gig economy at large. And the problem is if you're a senator in Congress, you're 80 years old and you have no idea what a gig is. Drivers, realize your customers are paying a ridiculous amount of money. So take care of their food. Make sure it's hot. Pick it up on time. Be a professional. At the end of the day, if we as a driver decline your order as a customer, it's nothing personal. It's all about the dollars and cents. We're just trying to make a living. And DoorDash drivers, the no tip, no trip, I think the no tip, no trip has to be sometimes. I mean, if it's a cup of coffee and it's going 3 blocks and they're tipping you $2.50, why not take it?